I have 4 questions I ask people.
Okay.
You cool with that?
Yes, go ahead.
Right. So the first question is, what do you think of animals?
I love them.
So do I.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of animal abuse or people who abuse animals?
People that hurt animals should be shot, to be quite honest.
Everybody says the same thing. Everybody says the same, and I agree with you probably as well.
Why are you asking the question then?
Well, there's 4 questions.
Yes.
The 4th one's the hard question, so
Right.
we'll come to that in a sec. The 3rd question is, what do you qualify, or how would you describe abuse?
The same way I would do it to children. Do you know?
I agree. I think animals are like children. They're
Exactly.
innocent. Yeah.
My dog is exactly like my children.
And I agree. So, 4th question.
Yes.
No judgment. I used to
ahead.
pay for it too. What were the animals we take into slaughterhouses? Like we shoot in the head, we gas them, we electrocute them, we hang them upside down and cut their throats.
Well, I don't agree with how we go about eating our meat. I understand, yes, meat is important, but I think that there is a humane way that you can go about doing it.
How would you humanely kill somebody that doesn't want to die? How would I humanely kill you?
Put me to sleep.
Yeah, euthanasia.
No, like,
Say you want to live your life, right? And you're just living your life, and somebody comes along and puts you on a truck and takes you to a slaughterhouse, and they put you in a line where you're going to be stabbed in the throat and bled out for an unnecessary reason. I'm not tricking you. I'm not trying to trick you. I am genuinely not trying to trick you, and here's why.
Mate, so.
I used to pay for it too.
I get where you're coming from.
I had been programmed by society as well to think it was okay to do that to animals.
Yeah.
And because I thought it was necessary, because that's
Yeah.
what society taught me. I haven't eaten animal products since I was 19. And I've been fully vegan for like 12 years now.
Yeah.
So there's no necessity.
Yeah.
The science is you can thrive on a plant-based diet. So what would be the justification in, if you think kicking a dog's bad, why is it okay to throw pigs in the gas chambers, which is what
Yeah.
we do to them here? That's my point. What do you think of that?
Cognitive dissonance. And
Hey, you're a smart girl. How do you know that?
I don't know my fucking research.
Yes.
I don't know what those words mean. I'm not gonna lie.
It means you are taught not to think about it. What it is you hold 2 different positions at the same time.
Yeah.
So in one position you think it's wrong to harm animals, okay, for enjoyment. But at
yet
the
it
same
would eat a
time,
cheeseburger.
you're taught that it's a necessity to eat meat when you're young,
Yeah.
and then you just continue to do it your whole life, and you never think about it again.
Yeah.
Right? But if there's no justification other than I want to eat a cheeseburger, when you can just eat a plant-based burger
they
instead,
literally taste the exact same.
and they literally taste the exact same. I mean exactly the same. I don't know how much you've tried, like the KFC chicken.
Tried everything.
I've tried them all.
Yeah, so it tastes, and even if it tastes 5% different, right?
Yeah.
So what do you value more? Stabbing a cow in the throat
Or your taste.
or your taste? What's
Yeah.
more valuable to you? That's my point.
No, yeah, 100%. I completely agree with the point that you're making. Yeah.
That's the point I'm
Yeah.
making. And I'm not here to catch people out. I'm not doing gotcha videos. I have hundreds of videos online.
No, you're doing it to make people think.
Yes.
And to get people's
'Cause I care about-
mindset
I love
into
animals
the
like you
whole
love
sort
animals.
of like, well, we don't need to eat
Yeah.
them. We don't need to do what we're doing to them.
Thinking.
I
And
was
I
vegetarian for a very, very long
I
time.
swear to God, I've been
Why
to
you talking
slaughterhouses, I've been on farms. If you could see what we
Yeah.
do to animals as normal I don't mean
Yeah.
people kicking
yes,
and
yes,
beating
yes,
and
yes.
hurt.
It brings tears to your eyes.
Standard practices
Yeah.
are fucked up beyond
Well,
any.
see, that would be another thing too.
Yeah.
That I don't know a lot.
So I'm going to give you a card
Do you know what I
in a
mean?
minute, and then you can.
like, I would know a lot
Yeah.
about, because it's not spoke about what happens
I
to the
know.
animals. It's not
Why do you think that is?
because I don't want people to know, because then people's going to kick
Why
off.
do you think slaughterhouses are in places where?
'Cause
Do you
people's
even know where the slaughterhouses
No,
are? Do you
that's
know where
what I
one
mean.
is?
Like, I know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't, I know obviously, like things like the halal, like you're saying, that
Yeah.
they cut and hang them upside
We do
down
the same
and things
thing.
like that. But
We shoot cows in the head with a cabinet bolt. It stuns them long enough to get a shackle around their leg, by which point some of them are conscious again. We hang them upside down, we cut their throats, and they bleed
see,
out.
that's new information
We
to me.
throw
you
pigs
see.
in the gas chambers.
No, that never would have. I never
Fucked
would
up.
have.
Like, I've stood beside it and listened to them screaming.
Oh,
It's
no,
fucked up.
do you know what? Even
Let me tell you one industry. I know you're on a night out, and I don't want to spoil your night out. The dairy industry. Do you know how cruel it is?
I don't even. I see from her face. I actually don't.
No, but I'm not going to tell you anything really graphic. I just
Yeah.
want to tell you how fucked up it is. So cows are mammals like
Yes,
humans. When's the only time you would produce milk?
When you're breastfeeding.
I didn't breastfeed any of my children.
Right, but you would produce milk when you're pregnant
Yeah.
or giving birth. Same with cows. So they forcibly impregnate them, right?
They forcibly milk them then.
They're pregnant 9 months. As soon as the babies are born, they take them away from them because they don't want the babies to suck the milk. They want to sell to
they
you,
want to sell it.
which is really distressing for cows. They'll
I'm
cry
sure
for their
it's distressing
babies.
for the mums and the babies.
The same as it would be for you.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
And we baby cows taking
away
on.
from me in the fucking hospital. Oh,
The
you
ba-
best believe.
There you go. So I used to live in the countryside, and you'd hear them bellowing for maybe 2 or 3 weeks
Yeah.
for their babies. It's
Yeah,
really distressing.
I've lived in the city centre.
Yeah. So you
my
don't see
whole
that.
life
The baby girls go back into the industry, made pregnant,
and done exactly
baby
the same
children
thing.
abducted away from them, made pregnant.
They get slaughtered within 2 weeks, don't they?
Yeah, well,
Not 2 weeks, 2 years, sorry.
no, the girls will go through 5 or 6 cycles of pregnancy,
Okay.
being made pregnant, having their children taken away.
Yeah.
It's a fucked up life. They're milked every single day of their life. They will live to about 5 or 6, by which point they're completely spent. Their bodies just give up. You can imagine if you were made pregnant 5 or 6 times, you'd be fucked.
I called it after
Yeah,
3.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the girls go through that at 5 or 6. They're sent off to a slaughterhouse when their milk production declines.
Yeah.
They can live to 25. That's their natural lifespan.
Yeah.
The baby boys don't produce any milk, and the meat we get from dairy cows is crap.
Yeah.
So guess what happens to them?
Neat.
Well, a lot of them are just killed on the day they're born. Farmers will shoot them in the head. Some farmers will set them in the ground and hit them over the head with a spade or a shovel. They have no rights whatsoever up till 24 hours old in this country. Some are sold for veal.
Yeah.
Veal pens are illegal here, so the way around it is now we put them in chips and send them off to the continent. And they stand in a veal pen, which is a dark pen with a chain around your neck for 16 weeks. At 16 weeks old, they're pulled out of the pen and somebody will put a knife across their throat. Or some go to the market. Ballymena market on a Friday morning is dropped calf market. That's the baby bull calves for the dairy industry. They're worth nothing. They sell them for a few quid at 10 to 14 days old, straight across the road, and somebody pulls a knife across their throat at 10 days old.
Way of eating dairy.
Dairy is fucked up. Yeah, that's fucked up,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah, 100%.
You didn't know that before,
No,
so I'm glad you came to talk to me.
Everything you're telling me is
And
new
that's-
information.
And the
like.
egg industry works the same. The male chicks don't produce eggs.
Yeah.
So guess what happens to them?
Yes.
The day they're born, they're dropped in their macerating machine or drowned or gassed or suffocated just to dispose of them.
But you know what? Actually, whenever I was about 10 or 11, and it was simply mainly because I didn't like meat, I said to my mom, no, from now on, vegetarian. My Christmas dinner, I had pasta.
There you go.
Do you know?
I would do the same,
Like,
believe it or not.
and she used to buy me like these corn turkey roasts
Yeah.
and stuff. And I was a vegetarian from I was about 10 or 11 until I was 17.
Was it because of the taste of meat or because of the animals or kind of a
It was
combination?
mainly because I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Whenever I was a child, my mum would have given me all the time. I don't like the taste. I don't like the texture.
I was the same.
You know, the only thing I really would have been the odd bit of like chicken or something. You know, and then
Chicken for some reason was always like the go-to for people.
yeah,
I
then
was the same. I had chicken for. I gave up milk when I was 5. I gave up pork when I was 7. Fish when I was 6. I was still eating red meat around 10 or 11, and then I gave it up because I saw a cow escape from just. I'm 56, by the way.
The only reason-
in my day, I was taught you had to, and there was no information anywhere else.
the only reason that I actually then started to eat meat again was because I was told by a medical professional that I was endangering my unborn child because
lot of bollocks.
because I, as the doctor said,
Yeah.
now obviously I'm not a medical
I know.
professional. What my doctor said to me whenever I went, obviously for my prenatal checkups, was the fact that I was anemic, my iron was really, really low, and
That's a natural thing in pregnancy, right?
You need to eat.
Yeah.
You need to start eating meat. You need to start getting all of that, and that was then.
Let me tell you, GPs do 4 hours of medical, or 4 years of medical
Yeah.
training. Do you know how many hours of nutrition they do in that?
Probably,
About 2 to 3,
yeah.
because they don't know.
But that's what I'm saying.
Heme iron is what you get from animal. It's
Yeah, but-
blood iron.
yeah.
But you can get iron from where the cows get it from.
Instead
from
of
leafy greens.
instead of my doctor saying, "Well, I see that this is a life choice that you're making," and instead of then saying to me, "Right, you need to start eating meat again," do you know?
There are other sources, they just don't know. They
if
just
he was
revert to-
If he was informed,
Yeah.
then he could have informed me
Yeah.
of, "Oh, well, you can do this. You can take iron tablets, or you can drink a Guinness."
Just
do you
eat
know?
leafy greens.
Guinness is not.
Leafy green, coloured greens.
Yeah, but like
you
there's
get any amount of iron.
loads of other stuff out there that like he didn't inform me, so therefore in my head I was like, well, my doctor told me I need
Doctors
to.
don't know.
Do you know what I mean? So like,
Hold on, wait a second.
oh, that's alright.
So yeah, doctors don't know.
But I know
Doctors
you-
want to give you a tablet. They want to give you an antibiotic or painkiller and
Yeah.
say cheerio, and their nutrition advice is absolutely crap.
No, you've explained quite a lot into it, that has never actually been.
You see I'm going to tell you one thing that'll sound a wee bit judgmental. See the way to make it stick with you?
Yeah.
If you're looking at it from, I don't like this and it's about your health and it's about me, then you're likely not to stick at it. But see, if you see it from the victim's perspective, from what the animals
100%.
go through, then it's a whole different perspective.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it stick with people. And by the way, I know loads of vegan parents who have brought their children up vegan for their entire life.
I know a lot of people, actually, funny enough how you're saying it, do you know, and this probably, people may or may not agree with this, but obviously there's been a whole load of talk about, you know, like the dog food trade in China, and people get really, really upset about it because they look at it and go, oh, that could be my dog, that could be my, but they're not looking at their steak or their cheeseburger and going.
So that's culture.
But that, oh, do you know?
It's entirely culture. It's the story they were told.
Yes.
Dogs are, so they're taught when they're young that dogs are not companion animals, they're food animals.
Yeah.
We're taught that pigs are food animals.
Yeah.
We do the same thing to pigs. Pigs are more intelligent than dogs, believe it or not. I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't.
So they're like fourth on the scale. So it's humans, dolphins and whales, corvids, like ravens and and then pigs. But dogs are way down at number 7 or 8. Pigs are smarter than primates.
Really?
Yes. So we take them here in this country. There's a gas chamber 2 miles from my house in Ballymena called Cranswick Country Foods. You know how many pigs they gas in there every single day?
Over 100.
Over 3,000.
Oh.
And Carroll and Cookstown, you heard of the Cookstown Sizzle? They're gassing about 4,000 every day. Friggin' brutal. I know you're wanting to go. I'll give you a card before you go.
Do you know what? I actually really enjoyed this conversation. You've given me a lot
that's the reason I'm here. I'm not here to catch people out and all that stuff. But check this stuff out. So, I do YouTube and Instagram. These are resources if you're looking to go vegan that tells you all about food. Vegan food, the Happy Cow is a little app you can download and you can just go, where's the vegan food? Like Little Wing, you know Little Wing?
Oh, yes.
They do vegan pizzas in here, Pizza Punks. Little Wing do a full vegan menu alongside their ordering, and it's just knowledge. Knowledge is power as far as I can see. I'm going to ask you to watch one thing. See this one here, the best speech you'll ever hear, Gary Rusky. Watch that sometime.
Or even if you just cut out like little by little.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I don't expect people to change overnight.
Oh, no,
but as long as the target is...
But you're getting the message out there and you're informing people, which is what matters.
Yeah, people talk about... You're not saying cut down, you're saying go down until you're none.
Gradually.
People say, oh, meat-free Mondays and stuff, but for me, I don't care if it's 500 animals you eat in a year or if it's one. If that one animal has to suffer, I would never hurt an animal intentionally. Never would. Neither would you. You'd never put an animal in a gas chamber.
Oh no, 100%.
So why pay somebody else to do it for you?
Exactly.
When you can just walk into Tesco's and buy plant-based stuff. What's your name?
Rachel.
Would you eat? Can I ask? Would you eat like? Okay, so from an animal.
Yep.
Grown up artificially. Would you eat that?
What do you mean? You mean like lab meat? No.
No.
But
I wouldn't either, but
no, I wouldn't. It's because.
But I wouldn't eat meat like adult. Like to me, meat is just like ew.
The plant-based, I'm the same. Plant-based stuff to me is really, really good.
I love
vegan food's fucking unreal.
Plant-based food, but
I do love falafel. I do love
loads of stuff. God, see when you go vegan, I eat so much more stuff now when I'm vegan than I did before.
And you get creative with your recipes, and you get like
Right. Well,
but no, lab-based meat wouldn't be for me. But if people want to eat it, you know, they take a few cells, I think, off an animal at some point.
But you wouldn't.
But it would, if everybody converted to plant-based or lab meat, then there'd be a lot less suffering in the world. You know, I see a positive in it from that perspective, but
not the full positive that you would like to see.
It'd be good for maybe cat food and stuff like that. Maybe, and that's the way to cut down even more suffering. You know. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, it was absolutely awesome to talk to you. Have a really nice night.
You too.
I hope loads more people.
All right, man. Sorry for keeping you. I'm only here for.